Welcome back to Make Yoga Your Business podcast. Today, where should I even start? Your complete business plan for your next year as a yoga teacher. Let's jump in. Welcome to Make Yoga Your Business, the podcast for yoga teachers and wellness professionals who are ready to grow a purposeful and profitable business. Grab your tea, your mat, or just some space to tune in, and let's make yoga your business. Hello and welcome back to Make Yoga Your Business podcast. My name's Kai. I'm your host. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed trying to figure out how to make yoga your full-time business, how to make this your full-time income, don't worry, that is so normal. We're not in what you would classify as a quote-unquote normal career path. We're just not. This is not the traditional 9 to 5. And so it can be a little overwhelming to know how to move forward and to know that you're on the right path for profitability. In fact, most yoga teachers take their own path, so no two paths of a yoga teacher look the same, which can make it even more confusing to know if you are on a path that's leading you in a good direction. Just to let you know where I was at when I first went through my 200-hour training, my very first yoga teacher training, I thought that the path ahead was to just start teaching in studios and try to pick up as many classes as I could until I was making enough money to support myself. But I don't know about you. For me, teaching 20 plus classes a week just wasn't working out. That wasn't my ideal lifestyle. I couldn't picture myself teaching more than I even was at the time, which was more classes than I am teaching currently right now, nearly 10 years later. If teaching 20 hours a week doesn't sound great for you, don't worry, you're in good company. What I wish I knew back then is that building a brand and developing your skills as a teacher, especially in a specific area, what we keep referring to as our niche, developing our skills teaching to that specific niche group of people, that is what's going to set you years apart and years ahead of the other teachers in the space. So that's what we're going to go into today. We are going to have you walk away today with a very clear roadmap of how to move forward in your next year of business, knowing that you're on a path for profitability, a path for success. First of all, we have to cover what most teachers get wrong when they're trying to start their yoga business, or even if you're a few years into your yoga business. Where do teachers get hung up? Why do they not see themselves moving forward? Well, for one, teachers feel they get stuck in that dip where they think they need everything all at once. They think they need the fancy website, they need all the online offers, they need the huge following. And in reality, like we talked about last time, all of that can just be playing a huge distraction, keeping you from the activities and the practices that are actually going to move your business forward. Another thing that teachers get wrong, like I mentioned in the beginning, is just relying on the studio to support them. They're treating the studio like an employer, and that is just a failing strategy. We're not meant to be teaching 20 classes a week, 30 classes a week. It's just not sustainable, and it was never meant to be that way. So the studio can absolutely be a part of your income streams as a yoga teacher, but that's not the whole picture. Teachers are also waiting for permission to start moving forward. They're waiting for their teacher trainer to say, hey, how about you host a workshop? They're waiting for the studio to say, hey, we'd love you to help in this teacher training. They're waiting for a more experienced teacher to invite them to come co-host a retreat with them or whatever it is. Know that if you are waiting for permission, you're going to be waiting a really long time. And the last thing that I see a lot of teachers just get hung up on, keeping them from moving forward, is getting just distracted by all of the fancy AI tools and content they can be creating, all the things, the bells and the whistles that don't have anything to do with them connecting to their ideal student. So it doesn't matter if you're posting trendy stuff all day, every day. If it's not actually connecting to and attracting your ideal student, then it's just a waste of time. Okay, jumping into the meat of today's conversation, we're going to talk about the 5-pillar framework that gets you a profitable roadmap to the next year in your business. So this is the 5-pillar framework that I teach in a bunch of free trainings. I'm going to be offering a whole training on this concept coming up here Wow, really quick in July. You'll be hearing a lot more about that, but we're going to go over the 5 pillars really quick here, get you introduced to this, get you on the road to journaling some of this out and getting clarity around what your next year in business could look like. Step 1 in this 5-pillar framework is getting really clear on your one offer. I like to refer to this as your core offering. What is the thing that you are going to be known for? What are you going to be pouring all of your life into to try to build and become known as the teacher that's offering that one thing? So we talk about a niche a lot. A niche is that person that you're helping, the problem you're solving for them, but your offer is the mechanism you're using to help bring that transformation to that person. So is it one-on-one yoga teaching sessions? Like, are you working with people one-on-one to help them get that result? Are you offering a retreat, a workshop, an online membership? What is the one offer that you have that directly solves or relates to your niche or ideal student? And I want you to start with just one because I want you to get really focused and honed in on this one offer that you can pour into, and you can bring in other offers later. So if you're like, Kai, I don't want to just teach in studio, I also want to have an online membership, or I also want to do retreats. That's fantastic. Absolutely. I want that for you too, but you have to start with one so that you can not only develop your skills in that area, not get overwhelmed with to-dos, but just so you can start getting known for that one offering and not confuse your students. So step 1 is getting clear on your core offer. Step 2 is your niche. Being really clear on your niche is something I harp on a lot, but your niche coincides directly with your messaging. So your message, what are you here to share? What are you here to give the world? Who are you here to serve? And what problem are you here to help them with? These pieces are critical, pivotal, absolutely foundational to having a successful business. If you don't have these key pieces in place, you're not going to have anything to work on. So who is your ideal student? What are you here to help them with? And what's your message? What is it that you're trying to get them to understand, or the transformation you're trying to have them achieve? Try to stay away from really generic niches like, I offer all levels vinyasa. Great, you and every single other teacher who works at a vinyasa studio. That's not niche enough. You have to get more specific. Who is it that you're here to help, and how are you going to help them? Pillar number 3 is your visibility strategy. How are you going to get out there and be seen? What platform are you going to go all in on? And this doesn't necessarily mean that you're out there seeking to be an influencer on TikTok or Instagram. It's just where your online hub is so that you can start putting content out there and be known for something to get your message out there. There's some superheroes out there who can do all the platforms all the time. For me, that just isn't possible. I can't spend that much time online. I'll literally go cuckoo bananas. So if you're like me, pick one platform to start with, go all in on just practicing making content, practice getting your message out there. Don't go for huge reach. It doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers. It just matters that you have a handful of followers that you are connecting with. I think it was Tim Ferriss's 1,000 True Fans. Gosh, I hope that's correct. But you really do just need a handful of people who are really inspired by what you're offering and connect deeply to what you say. So in 2025, I think it's so important to share your story. Try to be as real as possible. Connect to people through having them see insights into your life and offering helpful, tangible things that they can take away while becoming closely connected to you as the teacher. Pillar number 4 is your income streams. So income streams being plural. We've talked about income diversification on this podcast before. You know that I am super adamant about you as a yoga teacher having multiple streams of income. And yeah, if you want the yoga studio to be one of those streams of income, totally cool. I think for most of us it is. But what are some other income streams that are going to be building your business? So I recommend starting with 2, going all in on 2. If you already teach at a yoga studio or a gym, or you have a couple private clients, great. You already have one income stream down. What could another one be? You could start an online membership. Low barrier to entry when you use these like newer platforms that are out there that make it so easy. I've shared resources on that in previous episodes, but having an online membership or doing local events, that's my favorite option. I built a whole business around this, doing afternoon events, few hours each, where you're doing a specialized event. So my specialty was bringing people out into nature and offering yoga and meditation and sound healing out in nature. But other people have done things like yoga for anxiety, yoga for women over 50, prenatal series, yoga foundations for total beginners. There's so many options to get people into a space where they're paying a higher ticket for a more specialized offering that you can offer once a month, a couple times a month, every couple months, whatever. But when you get those people coming back to your specialized offering, they're going to become so passionate about what it is that you're offering, and you're going to be able to profit from that event much more than you would be able to profit from a regular class. So 2 streams of income to start with. If you already have your studio, again, you're off to a great start. If you don't have a studio just yet, maybe find a private client. Those can be a lot higher paying sometimes than studio classes. Just feel into what actually feels aligned and good for you and go from there. Pillar number 5 is your values and lifestyle fit. So going through all of these categories we just talked about and making sure that they are building the lifestyle that you want to be living. I forget who said it. I think it was Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. So where are you going in a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? What is it that your business looks like? How are you making money? And what do your days look like? And although you might not be able to live exactly that way right now, of course, that lifestyle will take work. You have to keep the lifestyle that you're wanting to create in mind as you lay these foundational pieces. So if you're somebody who really prioritizes travel, you want to be out of state a lot of the time, well, then having all of your income come from your in-studio classes and relying on you to be in studio all week, every week, otherwise that income stream dries up, that's not going to work, is it? Or if you are somebody who really wants to be able to work from home, but you have a bunch of one-on-one clients, that also isn't going to work. So just considering the lifestyle that you want to be living and building the business that helps shape that daily life. For me, I know that I work cyclically. So I know that I'm really good at taking a bunch of time off, then getting to work behind the scenes and then showing up for a big event, a lot of energy all at once. And after that event, going back into hiding, resting for a little bit and ramping back up. So I like that kind of like wavy type of work style. And that's why these bigger, less frequent events and retreats really works for me. But for some people, they would rather live with more consistency. They'd rather show up to work a little every day. They want to wake up at the same time, kind of do the same bits of activity and have more of a consistent nervous system. So you have to know yourself and what kind of lifestyle it is that you're wanting to create. So as a recap, 5 pillars to creating your business plan. Pillar number 1 is your core offer. What is it, that thing that you're going to be known for, that you're going to pour everything into, the number 1 thing that you're offering. Number 2 is your niche. Who are you here to help? How are you going to help them? Number 3 is your visibility strategy. How are you going to be seen? How are you going to connect with your ideal student? Pillar number 4 is what are your income streams? Start with 2. Build more later. And number 5 is your values and your lifestyle fit. So how do you start laying the framework for the lifestyle that you want to be living years from now? Some to-do items right now so that when you get done with this episode, you can get to work is 1, hone in on that core offer. Don't overthink it. Pick something for now that you can go all in on this season. And if in 3 months you change your mind and you want to do something else, fine, but at least you were in the game. By getting in the game, you're going to get more clear about what it is you want to do. You're not going to be able to figure this out on the sidelines. You have to be in the game. So pick a core offer and start putting it out there. Number 2 is if you have not already, get crystal clear on your niche. Get crystal clear on that person you're here to help and how it is you're going to help them. If you want more insight on this, go back to a few episodes ago, listen to the episode about niching down, finding your niche as a yoga teacher, and start there. Number 3 is start sharing. Start putting your message out there in the world. Start that Instagram account, start posting, start that YouTube channel, whatever it is that the platform you want to be showing up on or the workshop you want to be hosting, start putting it out there and be as consistent as you can. So please remember that if this was overwhelming, you do not need all the pieces of the puzzle right at the beginning to get started. You just need to have a focus and just take one step at a time. Remember that every yoga business looks different, so if your path looks different than the person that teaches the class right after you, it doesn't matter. We're all in our own journeys. We all want different things out of this life, so stay as in your lane as possible and just focus on where you're going next. Hey, if this was helpful, let me know. Find me on Instagram. My handle is @yoga.with.kai. Send me a DM over there. Let me know if you have any questions. And also, if you have anything that you want me to discuss in future episodes, send that over as well. I would love to get more insight into what you're looking for. I'm here to help you, so send it over. And keep an eye out for that training that I'm going to be announcing in just a couple weeks here. We're going to do a deep dive on this entire topic. So we went over it pretty briefly today. I touched on all 5 pillars, but in my free training, we're going to live via Zoom go through each one of these topics and deep dive so that you can get really clear on your business plan for the next year. Keep an eye out for that, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.